All right, what's going on, YouTube? I just wanted to go over a couple of things since the announcement of Street Fighter Six's Year 4 happened. It's during the Summer Game Fest. I'm going to have a couple of links going over a couple of different things down below. I do apologize that not be clickable. YouTube is being weird as per usual, but you'll just have to throw them into a URL in your local browser. But we're going to go over each of the characters, go over a couple of articles. All right, so the first one is going to be Capcom's. This is from IGN. This is an interview with who was it? Nakayama. My apologies for not remembering this off the top of my head. But Capcom will explain how Tifa. Excuse me. Capcom explains how Tifa from Final Fantasy VII came to be a Street Fighter 6 DLC character. The big rumor was for this for I think like 3 years as she was going to be in Tekken. But you know how the rumor mill is. But once I would say about 2 months ago, we started hearing whispers that she was going to be in Street Fighter 6. And well, after Summer Game Fest, bam, killed off year 4. All right. Capcom has discussed an eye-catching inclusion of Tifa from Final Fantasy VII came to be a guest character in Street Fighter 6 and explain why she's a perfect fit for the game. Now, overall, if anybody's ever played the Final Fantasy remake or the OG back on the PlayStation 1 like I did, she was quite the character, especially if you abuse the limit break system. You could combo some bosses to death with her. The announcement of Tifa as one of the Street Fighter 6, the announcement of Tifa as one of the Street Fighter 6's Year 4 DLC characters, along with Yasmin, Arjun, and Bosch, was one of the standout moments during the Summer Game Fest. Tekken fans had hoped for Tifa to make her way to Bandai's game, but instead she's gone with Street Fighter 6. So, how did that happen? IGN's Simon Carty spoke with Street Fighter director Takeya Nakayama and producer Matsumoto. Apologies if I don't pronounce certain names quite correctly. I'm still working on that. To find out, it turns out the pair have a mutual friend who works at Square Enix, who they began talking to about the collaborations of some kind around 3 years ago. Okay, I see. I see how that started now. These talks led to the request for Tifa, which proved successful. And if any of you know, I mean, Smash has Cloud and Sephiroth, and if you know the right people and you're good friends with, like Sakurai was, some things will happen. All right. Let's see. The initial conversation began roughly 3 years ago, Nakayama explained. We have a mutual friend who works at Square Enix who's also a big fan of Street Fighter 6. We'd been discussing about what can we do to collaborate somehow, and then eventually those conversations led, what about a potential guest character or one from a potential guest character from one of their IPs or series. And around the same time, Final Fantasy Remake series was very active in looking at the character background. A character like Tifa, who is a heavy martial arts style, we thought it would be perfect for Street Fighter 6. So, kind of organically led to this happening. Street Fighter 6 released 3 years ago in June 2023. So, those talks occurred very early in the game's life and perhaps even before it came out. By that time, Final Fantasy VII Remake was in full flow, having launched in 2022, and Rebirth coming out in 2024. The third game in the remake trilogy, Revelation, is due out in 2027, which those that have been playing it, I hope y'all enjoy it. I'm going to be, I'll probably be picking up Revelations maybe after if there's a big sale. We'll see. I'm not going to go too much more detail on this because I do want to go over each of the characters. All right, now we're going to go over the first character that is, she's diving out. Releasing in August 3rd. A gameplay trailer is releasing the day of this video, so there will probably be a reaction to the gameplay later on, since they're no longer going to be doing the world tour teasers. It's a little sad. I will miss seeing John World Tour fighting out the new Masters, but hey, we'll see how the gameplay goes. Yasmin, a high schooler hailing from the Philippines, joins the fight to search for her long lost Kuyo. Despite her shy and gentle demeanor, Yasmin beams with confidence whenever she uses her crescent shaped. Okay, forgive me if I say this wrong. Karambit knife to dance around her opponent at high speeds, just like her Lolo taught her. I'm assuming that might be her grandpa. I don't know the Philippine language, so forgive me. But it's great we're getting a character from the Philippines using a sort of a knife martial arts. It's very interesting because it's not like a like traditional knife we'll see. It's more of like a just a stone knife. I'll have to look more into it, what it is. But let's move on to the next character who will be coming out. I want to say maybe December. No. I would say August, November is a potential release window for this guy. Maybe we'll see. Adjourn uses extraordinary lung capacity combined with a yoga breathing to unleash explosive power with his unique bare knuckle yoga techniques. While working as a police officer in India, Arjun was accused of killing a colleague and now lives on the run while he searches for the true culprit. Very interesting background for this character. He reminds me of I don't know what the movie's called, but I know it was on Netflix and it was just RRR. It sort of reminds me of the mythological hero you hear from some of the Indian tales. Someone to probably keep an eye out for. All right, now Bosch. Everybody's familiar with Bosch. He suffered a dreadful fate during the world tour. For those that have played it already, Bosch departed his home nation of Nashel. I always hate when I screw that up. To pursue the true meaning of strength and eventually wins the wins the Sacred Martial Arts Tournament. His travels brought him to Metro City, where he is trained under Luke to incorporate modern combat methods into ancient techniques of the Nashal's warrior fate. Very interesting. We sort of saw a glimpse of it a little bit, but sadly, he was like modified with psycho power and ended up hurting him or exploding in a way. But since Ingrid has made her appearance, there's probably going to be a little bit of a do-over for him, and why Tifa might be able to show up. We will see how they explain it. All right, Tifa, highly skilled practitioner of the Zangon Ryu martial arts and a member of Avalanche Resistance Group. During her journey with her companion, she unexpectedly transported to another world where she encounters and bonds with new fighters. Tifa excels in close range combat, combining martial art techniques with with unique powers called abilities. She's going to be using the materia from what they've explained, so we'll be on the lookout for that. But I think it's great she's joining Street Fighter. She'll be a great addition to the cast. What I've been really enjoying about a lot of the newer characters is how unique they approach each character when using the drive rush system. So not everybody is like drive rush, down medium kick, down medium punch. Now here's the last interesting article I wanted to go over. This is the VIP interview. This is on Famitsu. Capcom president Haruhiro. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Talks about the company's 43rd anniversary. 43rd anniversary. My new idea is to rebuild every title from scratch. And technically, he is doing that. Onimusha has quite the reboot ahead of itself. It's going to be probably one of the best-selling games in September. But there's also several other big hitters coming out in September and early October. We will see, but I believe it will do well. I know I'm picking up a copy myself. Capcom CEO will celebrate the 43rd anniversary on June 11th, 2026. He is involved in the gaming industry from its early years. After going into sales, he moved to the center of management. The upheavals in the industry that moved, excuse me, that when we've seen throughout our long careers, and why does Capcom now have such a significant presence in the world? While mentioning these, you spoke extensively about the shift to data management, challenges to new IPs, esports strategy, multimedia development, and even the future of even the future of Japan's gaming industry. Good Lord, help me today. Let's see a little bit. He joined in 1987, graduating from the university, became a director in 1997, was focused on strengthening home video game. Okay, in 2007, he became the CEO. Very interesting. Let's see here. If it's not interesting, it won't sell. A single access that has remained unchanged since the company's founding. A great quote to have. Capcom will celebrate the 43rd anniversary on June 11th this year. This also links to the turbulent history of the gaming industry itself. What kind of things did CEO value to get to this point? Or what kind of things did CEO value to get to this point? Okay, that is probably a slight mistranslation on the auto translator. My apologies on that. Let's see. When Capcom was founded, I was only a first-time university student. We started out as a warehouse office in the plains of Osaka. With 5 employees, 1 part-time worker, I worked part-time for 4 years, and after graduating from the university, I continued to care for by Capcom, where I am currently working. You started out as a part-timer. Looking back at the industry as a whole, the past 40 years since the founding have been truly turbulent. Our company started with commercial games, and we experienced significant environmental changes, such as the introduction of regulations from under the Entertainment and Amusement Business Act and the aftermath of the bubble burst. Meanwhile, it was a major turning point when Nintendo developed the family computer home video game console just as the company was founded, and the trend of enjoy games at home began. Since then, there have been many big waves, such as Sony Interactive being released on PlayStation. Okay, this was a minor translation, such as Sony releasing the PlayStation, but I think there's still a big wave until today, as games have been recognized as one of the main forms of entertainment, and various techniques, players, and companies have participated. I'm not going to dive too much into this, but there was an interesting part. If you want to read over this, that'd be great. There was a certain section I wanted to highlight. There's something about how he approached certain game design. All right, I'm not gonna sit here and scroll, waste y'all's time, but essentially, it was the approach to the modern perspective, getting in the newer players. Like you saw the designs for the new characters for Gear 4. A lot of them are great, and nothing overly sexualized is what they're doing just to have these characters. Say they show up on ESPN again or whatever. The characters' default costumes are family friendly, but they will still sell the swimsuit and whatever else costumes on the side to make more money. But the plan is to have to have Street Fighter 6 as a 10-year or to all right, excuse me. The plan is for Street Fighter 6 to have a 10-year life cycle. We're already in year 4. The future for Street Fighter 6 does look bright. How they continue to develop the game and everything is Be interesting. Other than that, folks, everything will be linked down below. Y'all have a blessed day.